there, and welcome to Travel Nursing Insider. I'm Angelina. Today I'll be discussing travel nurse pay in further detail and specifically the non-taxed portion of their pay. It's no secret that travel nurses are paid very lucrative salaries, and this in large part has to do with the amount of non-taxed income that they receive. This can be anywhere from $10,000 to $60,000 non-taxed income per year on top of their taxable income. This is what really sets travel nurses apart from staff nurses when it comes to their salary. So stay tuned for the rest of this video. I'll be discussing how and why travel nurses are eligible to receive tax-free income. The IRS allows travel nursing agencies to pay travel nurses non-taxed income. To put it basically, because travel nurses are having to pay duplicate living expenses. So in a traditional place of employment, when you go work temporarily for your employer in another location that is different from your tax home location, you would save all your receipts and bring them back to HR, anything that you paid for that had to do with lodging or meals while you were working. You bring it back to HR and HR writes you a nice little check reimbursement for those costs. Well, travel nurses are working temporary for their employer for significant amounts of time, so anywhere from 6 weeks to 6 months or longer. So instead of them having to save all of their receipts for their lodging and their meals, the IRS allows travel nursing agencies to pay them a non-tax stipend. A while ago, while I was still a travel nurse recruiter, I was chatting with a nurse named Kalani. She was an L&D nurse and she was from Hawaii. And I really wanted to recruit her. We just travel in the travel nursing industry. L&D is, it's just a very in-demand specialty right now. So we were kind of talking about things and I was asking her how much she was wanting in terms of pay. And I asked her if she was eligible to receive a tax-free stipend. And she said, well, of course I am. I'm a traveling nurse. So she thought that just because she's a traveling nurse that she was going to be eligible to receive tax-free income. And I said, Kalani, that's not the case. So I have to ask you this, are you going to be maintaining a residence there in your tax home area in Hawaii while you are going to be working temporarily here and living temporarily here in Seattle? And she said, well, no, Angelina, to be honest with you, I can't afford to live on my own here in Hawaii. It's just way too expensive. So I have never moved out of my parents' house. I'm still living with my parents. I gave her ideas on how she could establish a tax home there on Hawaii while she was working here in Seattle. I talked about how she could establish a lease with her parents and rent a room from her parents at fair market value and pay them a certain amount every month. And then she would be eligible to receive the tax-free stipend. But I educated her on the topic. I told her that, in order to be eligible for tax-free money, your tax home that you're maintaining there in Hawaii and you're going to be duplicating expenses on, you have to be working in that area for part of the year. So like a quarter of your income needs to be made in that area. So a lot of nurses do this by going home for like 30 days out of every 12-month period and working a PRN or an agency job for that amount of time while they're working there, or they'll take a travel assignment there at home. I also told her that her permanent address has to be in the area of her tax home. So your permanent address is different than your tax home because your permanent address is what you use for legal purposes. It's where you receive your mail at. If you have to serve on the jury, that's the address that you put, or that's the address that they'll contact you on. Your tax home is the area that you work. So it's a whole city area and a commutable area that you earn the majority of your income at. And it's also a place that you you live at and you don't abandon. So as a traveling nurse, you do have to return to your tax home for a significant amount of time. And I go over this in another video on this channel where I'm talking about how long you can stay in one place. You cannot abandon your tax home. So you have to return there, you have to work there, have a family member living there, or if you own the home, continue to pay the mortgage or be on the lease. Answered, and she said, oh, hey, Angelina, yeah, I was shopping around to other agencies and talking to some travel nurses here at this hospital who I'm friends with. And the travel nurses told me that there are loops and ways to get around this, and other agencies didn't even ask me this question. They just, told me that since I live on Hawaii and I'm staying with my parents, that I can live there in Seattle and get tax-free money and work there in Seattle. So I told her, really think about this before you do it. If you don't go with my agency, it's totally fine. But I really care about nurses, and I want you to know that if you are audited by the IRS and you are not duplicating expenses, then you'll have to pay them back the tax-free money that you received. And I said this in another video, but I was working with a traveling nurse who told me that she was working in her tax home area and she was receiving a tax-free stipend from her agency, and she got audited by the IRS and she had to pay over $100,000 to the IRS because she received all this tax-free money that she was not supposed to be receiving. So you'll hear stories about travel nurses, and you'll hear agencies that still offer this tax-free stipend, no questions asked, they just do it. But when it comes down to it, it's not hurting the agencies. The IRS does audit agencies and they do get in trouble for doing this, but it's rare. It hurts the nurses. It falls on the nurses. So protect yourself, get educated, and before you accept any kind of pay package, really make sure that you understand all the pay that's in the pay package and everything that they're offering you and how they're going to be paying you. This is just a very brief overview of the non-tax stipends that travel nurses receive. But like I said, this is where they make the bulk of their salary, and why their salary is so much higher than a staff nurse's salary. A really good website to do some more research on taxes in relation to travel nursing is traveltax.com. And if you enjoyed this video, please comment and subscribe. I'm going to be going over a series of videos here next, where I'll be going over some savvy negotiating skills. I'm going to be opening up to you and sharing some stories about some techniques that nurses used when I was a recruiter. They kind of flung this on me last minute during the negotiation stage, and they were really able to get what they want in terms of more money, more benefits, guaranteed hours, changes to their shifts, things like that. So I'm going to be going over negotiations in a series of videos because there are quite a few techniques, and my travel nursing friends have given me some really good topic ideas. So I have a lot of ideas. I have a lot of more videos coming out, so please subscribe so that you'll be the first to know when those videos go live. And if you have questions, please leave them below in the comment section. As always, you can email me at travelnursinginsider@gmail.com. I'm on Facebook and Instagram under Travel Nursing Insider. And I'm also on Twitter under Travel RN Insider. Travel Nursing Insider was too long. So I enjoyed making this video. I hope that you enjoyed it, and I look forward to making my upcoming videos on negotiating the best pay package for you. All right, bye.